Oh, hi there. We're gonna do Super Mario Bros. X and how to just do various things in here because this is a tutorial. I'm making this for a couple friends just so they know how to do things, but we're gonna start off with the basics here. So the first thing you want to do after creating a new file, or new stage I should say, which I just did right there, is set a background. So I guess we'll just make a basic background here of hills. So there's Super Mario World background, and you can move around with the arrow keys, so that's how you move around. And then we'll add some music here. Now we could just go with standard music like that, but I'm going to use custom music just to show that off. So what you want to do if you're going to use custom music is you go over here to miscellaneous and you click on custom. Now there's going to be no music here because I don't have the file name. In order to set the file name, you'll have to have put the world in the folder with the same music. So I mean, I haven't saved this level yet, so we'll go into the same folder, the test folder that I just created, which is right here, and we will save this as test. So now, if I type in the Yoshi's Island Overworld, spelled exactly like that, with MP3 at the end, of course, because that's the file type. So if we type in YI overworld.mp3 and then click on custom, the music will begin. So there you go. And I'll teach you how to do some other custom stuff later. It'll be pleasant. Alright, so now the first thing you really want to do when beginning to make a level after you've got the music and the background, of course, is to add a player 1 start position. So I'll add Mario right there as player 1, and Luigi, we'll put him right next to him. And there you go. Player setup. That way, when you start the level, you'll be able to start straight off in this section. And then we'll create a platform for them by going into the blocks and tiles here. So there we go. Just make a short little platform. Good enough. And you can actually make blocks off screen too, like I'm going to do right here. And this will prevent any mushrooms or anything or enemies from walking off the screen. And I'll show that off because they can possibly walk off the screen. And next thing we'll add here is a nice little block that will have a mushroom in it. So I'll go to Special, Super Mario World block. This one will have 1 coin. So the first one has 1 coin. We'll add a leaf to it, which will give you a mushroom if you're a small Mario or Luigi. And then in the third one, we will make it invisible, and that will just make it so that you can't see it until you hit it. So set it as an invisible block, so when you hit that, it'll give you 2 coins. So that's basically how you do all the basic stuff with blocks. I mean, there is the events and slippery. Slippery makes you slip on it because it's made out of ice, and ice blocks already have this set as a default, as you can see right there. But for now, that's pretty good. Now the second part, I guess I'll show off. Nah, never mind, we don't need backgrounds yet. And then we'll add a NPC. So just go into NPCs, and then they have the selected ones right here. So, I don't know, I'll just put a... I'll put a normal Goomba here to the left. Alright, so we got that guy, we can jump on him in the level. And it's best to try out all of the different NPCs, and I'll just add a second platform over here. It's not a big jump, not making anything too fancy. That didn't look too smooth. And we'll just make something over here. Oh, by the way, in order to expand the screen, go to level boundary and level settings, click on right or bottom if you want to go to the bottom like that, but I don't really want it to do that. And it'll move your screen around. And of course, top and left do the same thing. You can take out the eraser to erase blocks like that. And we'll just set out some of these, make it fairly flat, and then we'll use a slanted block to make this go upwards. And in order to make a slanted block look decent while going upwards, you gotta use these blocks, which are intermediate, to make it look decent. So there you go. Looks certainly nice. And we got some basic stuff here. Now, the best thing to do when you're making a large platform like this, especially one that has a consistent inside, is get the block that you would usually use to fill it, and then simply click on fill, and it fills the entire thing for you. Very smooth, very nice, and it's certainly great. Alright, now we got all that taken care of. We got the NPC. Pretty much basic level. We got everything we want. I guess the next thing I should probably show off. Let's see. Probably warps and doors. Let's try that out. So I'm going to set up a warp pipe here. Warp pipes do not warp on their own until you set up a warp and door. So I'll just set a warp pipe here using the blocks and the pipes, and I like the Super Mario World pipes. And we'll set one pipe here, and one pipe, I don't know, we'll set it in a place that will lead into a second lesson here. If you go into level settings and then click on the second section, you can go to a different part of the level. So right here, I'll set the music to, I don't know, Underground, and then set the background to Underground from Super Mario Bros. And then we will simply take out the pipe and put it right here. And I don't know, we'll just set up a little bit of a platform here. It's not going to be anything major. And we'll fill this in so it looks nice. And might as well just add some coins down here. I'm not going to be keeping this level, but you know, we'll make it seem aesthetically pleasing. And then we'll set a second pipe, which will take you back to the surface, right here. Now, what we're going to do is, I'm going to set up warps and doors here first. Now, you can set up several different types of warps and doors, and there's also instant. Pipe will, of course, work like a normal Mario pipe, and you can set the direction, yeah, but we'll be getting to that later. And you can also do a door. So if you go into the backgrounds and get a door like this, simply do that, and then when you go to a different section and you create a door, you simply take the door and put the entrance in the middle of the first door, and then the exit in the middle of the second door that you want to be able to exit. And that will only work the one way. So if you want it to work both ways, you're going to have to set up an entrance on the door you exited and an exit on the door you entered. Anyways, we'll set up the first warp here. Oh, an instant, you just touch it while going the direction that you have for entrance, and it will take you to whatever direction the exit was in. So what we're going to do here is set up a regular pipe. So set to pipe, and since we'll be going downwards through this pipe and upwards to the other one, we'll have the entrance direction set to down and the exit direction set to up. So we place the entrance right in the middle there, and we will head back to the original screen, use the exit, and now it should work perfectly fine. Now we also want to be able to go down this pipe, so we'll go back to warps and doors, and immediately when you create a different entrance, it will switch to the second warp. So we'll have the entrance direction being down and the exit direction being down. So it'll give you the little subscript of 2, and now you should be able to go through both of those pipes. So we'll ignore the screen for now, and get back to regular level editing. So there you go, that's how you use warps and doors. Very nice. We'll do a little bit more with it later. You can actually set it to warp to a different level. So if you set it to a level exit, which we'll get to later, you can make it exit and warp you immediately to a different level that you've already made. Just simply type in the file name. You can also set it as a level entrance, which if you set it on the world map as a 2 warp whatever number, and there's up to 99 I believe, 100, then you will enter the level through the pipe, and you'll set it to level entrance and then set it as one of the pipes, put it down, and it'll work perfectly fine. You can also change if you want Yoshi to be able to go through there, if you want to allow NPCs like shells or whatnot to be able to go through there, or locked, which is something that you put over a door, meaning that you have to use a key to get through it. But we don't want any of that right now. So we got all this basic stuff. It's very nice. So we'll move on to... what should we probably do next? Might as well show off some of this extra stuff here. The level settings, you can also go into advanced. You can change... This never works for me, but you can clone sections of a level and move them somewhere else, but for some reason it usually doesn't work with levels that aren't the one you're currently on. But you can, like, let's say I want section 1 to become section 3, so let's just clone that. And now we're in section 3. We go back to section 1. It's nearly the same, but it will not keep any warps, I don't believe. It will keep none of the warps. It will keep none of the player starts. It will keep the general level design and NPCs, though. So we have that. We're not going to use it, but it's there. Alright, now we'll show off just all of the general pages of NPCs. Not going to use any of it. You can also change, might as well show this off, when you're using an NPC. Right now, this Goomba will be walking left. If we set it to right, he'll be walking right. And if you set it to random, he'll walk left or right at random. You can also set him to don't move, so he will just stand in place permanently, or friendly, so that he will not damage the player. Alternatively, you can set any NPC as buried, and so if you press down and the alternate button, you will pick it up like it's a vegetable from Super Mario Bros. 2. You can also set it as an egg, which means that if you throw it and it cracks on something, the enemy will be released. Or as a bubble, where it'll be floating around Super Mario World style, and once you pop the bubble, whatever is in there will fall out. Or you can set any enemy in the game as a key to. So it'll start throwing that enemy, whether it be coins or spinies or whatever you want it to be. Now, I'll show off some other things here. We'll move on to layers. Layers allow you to make things disappear or move or whatnot, so we'll create a layer named 1 here, we'll create a layer named 2, and that's about good. So in layer 1, we'll have, I don't know, something that we probably won't need. Yeah, let's just take this, Super Mario Bros. 3. We will take this, where am I looking for? Looking for wood. We'll take this platform right here, and we'll simply put it, yeah, right about there where you can jump onto it from the pipe. So, just got that, and we'll do something with that later. And then we'll add something from 2. And 2 will just be a nice little smiley face, why not? Just lovely. But we'll turn off 2 for now. Now what you want to do pretty much anything with layers is go straight into your events. Now I'll add event 1, and that'll be it actually. No, we'll add 2 events now that I think about it, which will be actually 3. Move up. We'll create one that will move down, and 3 will be disappear, just so I can show off 3 of the main features of this thing. So what you want to do is for move up, we're going to make the layer move here, and auto start is probably a good thing to start with here. Auto start will make this event start immediately when you start up the level. And what we're going to do here is make the platform right here move up and down. So we don't need to do anything with here, but layer movement we will set layer 1, since that is what that platform is part of, and we will set the vertical speed to -1, which is not a very fast speed. Now it will move up forever until you set it to trigger event. So what we want to do is set it to trigger event down, and then we'll have it move for about 2.5 seconds upwards, and we'll head over to move down here, and it will also move layer 1 at a speed of, what was the first one, -1? Or first one was -1, so we will set this to 1. Negative numbers in vertical will move it upwards, positive numbers in vertical will move it downwards, positive numbers in horizontal will move it rightwards, and negative numbers in horizontal will move it leftwards. You can also do this with scrolling, where you can make a section scroll at a certain speed, and it works the same way with the numbers. Now, we want to trigger the event to trigger 1, or the move up, and we will set that to 2.5. That way it will move the same distance and amount of time for moving up and down. And you only want move up or move down, whichever direction you want it to start in, to be auto start. Otherwise it is going to create a little bit of a conflict where they both start at the same time, and it will do absolutely nothing, and it'll just be stuck in limbo. And now what we're also going to do is set a disappear, which I'm going to make 1 disappear, which will make the platform right there disappear, and then it'll show layer 2, the smiley face that we made. So so we got that, we got disappear, but we'll do something with that later. Now also with disappear, I'm going to do something fancy, because we'll just show it off, which is whenever it happens, we will have a, I don't know, grow noise happen. You can play any sound in the game, and it will not end game, because that'd be a little bit silly, and it will trigger, no events, because we don't need that. And then we will, you can also have it change the music or background, but I don't really want to do that. These player controls down here are used to, I completely forgot what they're used for. I believe if you press like left and you have this set to that, then anytime the player presses left, it'll make the layers disappear or something. I'm not exactly positive though. And you can also have it read a message to you, like you can type in here, and that'll happen as well. So we got all the events set up here, and they'll move up and down and whatnot, but we have nothing to trigger the event currently. So we will go into special, just take out a regular block, give it a coin, and what we're going to do is set it to events, and when you hit it, let's see, it will make disappear happen. So we'll make this right there. Very classy. Actually, we'll set it right there, because that's really easy to hit. What you can also do with events is set to death, which blocks don't typically have, but if there's like a pick-upable block and you throw it off the side, it'll make that happen. Alternatively, NPCs have events where if you kill an NPC, you can make it happen. If you talk to an NPC, it'll let you make an event happen. Or if you activate it, much like with this axe right here, if you touch that and have it set to activate, it will make an event happen. No More Objects in Layer is an object that will, or an event, it will make events happen once you've removed every single object in a layer. So you can set an enemy NPC layer, and once you've killed every NPC, you can make an event happen, like something appearing or the floor disappearing. And then attach the layer makes everything in a certain layer follow the movements of an NPC, which is sort of neat. Anyways, back to block. This does the same thing, no more objects in the layer. It'll make an event happen. Although, typically, I guess if you hit a block, if you hit a certain amount of blocks in a layer, it'll make something happen, and that's what that's for. But anyways, we got that set to disappear, so that's nice. So that'll happen once we start the level. And I believe that's all we need. We'll set our layer back to default. Oh, by the way, you want to turn off layer 2 in this case. It will make it not appear once the level starts. That's what the check mark means. So we've got all that stuff ready. That's about all we need. So we'll show off some other stuff over here. I'm going to show off something that you typically want to do last, but for the sake of just this tutorial, we'll do it right now, which is backgrounds. You can use it for the doors, for the side of checkpoints, which is in NPCs, Super Mario World. You can use this as an exit. This is actually not an exit, it's a star, which is something that you typically want in every single level, or if you're going for that, a star will allow you to open up certain secret exits if that's the kind of game you're going for, but that's a completely like irrelevant tangent. And of course there's an exit for Super Mario World, there's an exit for Super Mario Bros. 3, which is this sort of thing that's typically in the box, the orb, and then there's a star that will count towards your star count, but also end the level, which is neat. And then of course there's a Super Mario Bros. 2 exit, but there is no Super Mario Bros. 1. Alright, well, now what we're going to do here is go into backgrounds, and I'm going to simply go into water, and just create a little bit of water here, just a small amount, and use this blue to make it look like there's tons of water here. Now, this does not actually act as water yet, and we'll add a platform over to the other side, that way our dude can safely make it to the other side. This does not actually act as water yet. What you want to do is simply go into water, and then you can expand the size using this. So, you just take that down, and you want it to be the exact size of your water, so it's fine if it goes off the screen a little bit, so now the water will be perfectly fine and we can swim in it. Alternatively, you can make it act as quicksand, which you can use with a quicksand background, like this one, and that will make you just move slowly through it and have a hard time jumping through it. So it's slightly different than water, if you press yes on the quicksand. But we've got water working over there. So that's nice, and we'll add a checkpoint right here. So if you die any time after you touch the checkpoint, you will spawn back at this checkpoint. And we will add the backgrounds next to it. That way it looks like a regular working checkpoint. Looks beautiful. Everything's good. And that's that. So essentially we have all this stuff working, and I'll show off a star right here while we're doing this. And I typically like to put a little thing around the star, like this thing, so that you know that that star was there if you got it and you return to the level. Because once you beat a level on the world map, it will not reappear. It'll just go towards your count. Now, there's not really much else we really need to do here other than end the level. And I will create something over here just to show off one more effect, which is, I'll show it off in a second. Don't really need to fill that in. We'll just make this a flat area. Of course, you can change everything if you want to make something different. And we will add, we'll add some more blocks and tiles. We'll add a pipe right here. We'll add a green pipe, and then we'll just add another pipe up here. That's really not going to do much. This is simply to show off something. Let's see. I'm going to put this up here, actually, this star. So it's slightly out of the way so I can show off something. And then we will simply end the level by putting the exit right here. Now I like to use the Super Mario World exit. You can use that, simply set up everything. You want the topper to be one space right above where the exit actually is, because that is the highest point it will go. It can go infinitely downwards until it hits a floor, which then it will bounce up. But it will not go any higher than the highest space that you have placed it. So we've got all that set up. Now what we're going to do with warps and doors here is, again, we're going to show off the warps, and you do the same thing that you would normally do, where entrance direction down, but this time I'm going to set it to stars needed. This will restrict anybody who does not have that amount of stars from going inside there. So now that you have 1 star, you'll be able to go through that place. Oh, wait, I set that to... I'll erase this. You want this to be entrance, going down, exit. And this is usually used to make like a secret world where you need a certain amount of stars to get to a certain amount of levels. So now we've got a really short level working here. We can put some more NPCs and stuff in here, like Yoshi, whatnot. The Yoshis all do different things, but that's something that we could explain later. So we got this general thing. We got everything set up that I think we should possibly ever need. And might as well decorate the level. Just add like a bush here, maybe a small bush up here, a bigger bush over here. Just make the level look sort of neat. Add some things to it. Got everything working. So we will show off this level really quick, I suppose, and show off everything that we've created. So let's press F5, which will allow you to test the level, and I'm using a gamepad here, so just jump and move like you normally would. There's the mushroom that we placed in the block, secret block with the tons of coins in it, or 2 coins in it, and we will use this warp pipe. So if you press down on it, it will move you downwards, and we'll go through there, get some of the coins, and if you press down on this pipe, we'll head straight back up. And as I showed, this is working. I believe I accidentally made the block invisible, so... Ooh, that's not a good thing. Or I might have set it to the wrong layer, so we're gonna kill ourselves here because I think I made an oopsie. Make sure to move around your layers before you place things, because occasionally you'll just make mistakes like that. Yep, it appears I actually attached that to layer 2. So we will take this block and set it to layer 1, that way it will disappear with the platform. Actually, that'll make it move up and down. So we'll select it and set it to default. That way it'll be there forever and won't move. And we will try the level again really quick here. So everything works perfectly fine. Got the Goomba. Everything's working dandy. Gotta be sure you don't get crushed by that, because that's not a good idea. And it'll say the message that we already set up. Give us that smiley face and play the sound effect that I asked for. And just show off that the water works. You can swim in it. Works perfectly fine. Got the checkpoint, so if we were to die, we would spawn right back over there. And I'll show off that you need 1 star to enter, so you can't go in there. But if we get this star right here, it allows you to go through it. It's neat. And with that, we can exit the level. Of course, the higher you touch the tape, if you played Super Mario World, the more things you get. So that's essentially everything that you need to know. Except there is one more thing that I'm going to show off, which is how to use custom backgrounds and custom NPCs, at least for graphics. What you're going to want to do is get a certain replacement for the NPCs. So we have a Goomba in there, so I'll find some sort of replacement for a Goomba that I would have. It does not look like I have one directly here, so I'm just going to grab something in general. You can also replace blocks. What you want to do is give it the same name that it has in the Super Mario Bros. Graphics, like all these blocks are like that. So let's just show this off really quick. If we wanted to make, I don't know, Super Mario World 1 or Super Mario Bros. Blocks, let's just say I want to put clouds here. We'll put this happy little cloud right here. And as you can see, he's a normal cloud right now. But if we are to go into Super Boogaloo World, which is where I made this, and take all these clouds that I made and simply copy them and put them in the test folder, which has the folder named after the level. They have to have the exact same name, and then paste it in there. It will replace that, which is something nice. You can also do this with NPCs, just replace their graphics, and it has to follow the exact same amount of sprites that it corresponds to. Like if we were going to NPCs here, you can see that the NPC, the Goomba, has two different types of animations there, the right foot up and the left foot up. So you're going to want to get something with 2 frames of animation that is the same size, unless you are using an NPC editor .txt file, but that's complicated and that might require some further explanation. So for now, we are just going to go back, and I don't believe we need anything else in here. So we are simply going to save, and once you save, we will see that it will change color to the blocks that I created. Of course, you can make this some other type of block, like I could make this a something with 4 animations. I can make it rainbow. It doesn't even have to be a cloud. You can make it anything you want, and it will change, and that's how you use custom NPCs. You can also do this with backgrounds, background objects, everything. Just make sure that it has the same file name and that it is a GIF, and the game will recognize it. That's about all I have to teach. This is the basics of Super Mario Bros. X, so thank you for watching, and I hope you understand now. Goodbye.